Always wanted to say that. We are going to Game 5, ladies and gentlemen. Shout out to Atlas. However, Legacy right now have really put on a clinic of what it means to dig deep and to push a series to the brink. And now it is time for Order, backs against the wall, to try and show the same kind of gusto.
But both these teams right now, backs against the wall. This is the game that matters. Game 5, progressing in the Gauntlet. Going to Rift Rivals. That's
yeah, I mean,
that's a biggie.
Order said that was their aim, to go to Rift Rivals, split number 1. They wanted the international experience before split 2. However, this game is what it will be to be able to get there. Legacy on the back end of 2 best of 5s. Exciting stuff, and we're going to go to Game 1 draft.
And
everything changed.
Yeah, maybe just go back to
Olaf.
Yeah, okay. That's the adaptation that Legacy have made. Obviously, do not want to pick that one up. And if we look at the statistics, Jake Spawn Tabero, blue side has won every single game.
I don't care about statistics
in this series. So, Order
could
we're only in Champ Select.
A rat's ass about stats
a
right
rat's
now,
ass?
Bryce.
Okay.
It's going to be Rise locked in, and
Skarner
banned away. So Swain up and available.
Do they first pick it? Oh, Order's going to be the first pick, Braum. And it is. Here we go. This is the metagame. This is the best of 5 that changes the draft. Because it doesn't matter what the meta says at this point. Who cares about the meta? It's what the series says, 100%. That's going to be the Tarek immediate answer from Decoy.
And they go the Sejuani. Are they going to throw the Gauntlet? Because Swain is still up. Zach is still up. Jax is still available.
But this side, have we seen a blue side second rotate Swain? I don't think we have. It's always been red.
I think we saw one yesterday.
Oh, yeah. I mean, in like this series, Legacy versus Order. Yeah. So does Swiffer now in this situation? Because if he picks Swain, Claire, red side gets immediate Cassio answer, Talia answer if he wants that matchup. Decoys, looking pretty happy with where they're at right now. Is like that's probably Raid's 2 fingers, I guess.
Yeah, absolutely. They blind pick and Nivea.
Okay, here we go. This is the spicy one. Dodo Sin playing as well in the background. Game 5, 2 days in a row. Will it be the brand? Probably not. Do they go 80 carry back to the Caitlyn? Because Order lost that last game, right? At the drop of a hat. But FBI was absolutely popping off. If you think back to the start of it, they had Ali Caitlyn, level 1 kill. They were level 2 to the level 1. Literally 1 minute into the game.
They got smirks on their face.
Here we go.
Only someone from Order's laughing and smiling. I'm about to bloody cry. See what Claire takes here. You feel it has to be a mid lane. It's going to be Azir.
Okay.
So Azir does well into Anivia. If you are a good Azir player, you have a lot of mobility. You're allowed to, you're able to scooch in and out, and you can flick him back towards your jungler. You feel like they do have enough damage to kill him as well.
Absolutely. Not to mention Sejuani, probably one of the better junglers, because it's not like she can be walled away from the Anivia, because you can just fling the Glacial Prism at him, and if you stun him up, then Azir's going to be there to deal the damage. That's pretty interesting. We've seen Order play the Anivia comp before.
And Ezreal again. They can also ban Kate this time as well. So
Kate? You mean...
Ash.
Ash, that's the one.
So they can throw like 5 80 carry bans at him.
And I feel like that makes a lot of sense, because this time they have a first pick Braum. Sure, he can block it, but he still gets stunned up.
Yep.
Right? You don't have a Morgana shield. You don't have anything like that. You can't just completely negate the Ash. So do they ban that one away? Do they stick to something like the Tristana ban? We haven't seen it picked yet, but...
Do they take away... Oh, no, they take away Zach. So they prioritize a jungler, which makes a lot of sense to me, because now we have 3 junglers banned away, as well as a Sejuani locked in. Jarvan was a pick that Order liked at the start of the split. Jax is a pick that they've gone back towards.
Jinx, Hover?
I mean, it has to be now.
Do we get to see it? Yeah.
Jhin is the only other thing up and available.
We've seen Raid play Vayne, but into Caitlyn, that's the oldest.
Tristana is a very good pick into Anivia as well.
Because it's just about the scaling. If they just blind pick the Anivia, okay, here we go. Throwing the Gauntlet right now. They have a lot of range on the lineup of Legacy.
And I mean, it is Claire that tweeted last week when Swiffer played the Anivia into Ryoma and said, like, as soon as it was locked in, my heart went out to Tommy, because I've been through that situation so many times.
The matchup.
But it's not going to be the Rise matchup. It's going to be the Azir.
And here's the thing. Tally earlier in the day on things like the Cho'Gath was absolutely popping off. Last game, Mimic on the Gnar. Absolutely popping off. This time, Tally's going to take that one away.
Oh, not the Nunu again. My heart can't take
Nunu and
that.
Nivea, that'd be a pretty slow mid-2v2. You know, they got a bunch of slows between them, a Snowball, a Crystallize, things like that. But no, just going back to the Jax. I feel like we haven't seen him for a while.
Yeah, it's always a counter pick to Gnar.
He
haven't seen it. would split push for days.
I feel like Mimic is
The kind of player
that would do it. GP is still available as well. Things like that. We haven't seen him play it yet, but everybody, as you mentioned, bans it away.
He certainly does, and they can. Oh, it's just going to be the Scion. So he uses the reverse matchup. This is the bold call. It's not a good pick into Anivia.
Yeah, just get walled.
Maybe feels like with all of the damage that his team's got, you know, the long-range engage potential that can come out of Sybil and Mimic, that they can potentially get it done.
And that's the thing. I feel like it is the fact that Sybil also has engage. If he's a Kha'Zix here and all you have is a Scion, and you just picked it into Anivia, suddenly you just have no buttons. And obviously the Ornn you mentioned was still available, but then you're against the Braum. They deprioritize that one, so they do go for the Scion in the top side. It's been pretty successful this series, but game number 5, 20 seconds before this one's going to get underway. This is spicy. I didn't expect it to get to this point. But we are here now. Soul Strikes.
But the O's Gauntlet always has a way.
It does.
Bryce.
It does. Jubes was right all along. He's a genius. Who would have thought?
I mean, split one Gauntlet, the run of Sin, potentially now the run of Legacy. Take a look at them. They've brought it to game number 5. They look cool, calm, and collected. And honestly, it is petrifying me to no end. They're going up against Order. The blind pick Anivia.
That's brave.
The mobility came out of the carries.
Oh, because we've seen one Anivia game. And it was a very specific answer into Rise. And then the next time, Swiffer's like, you know what?
Or was it?
Who cares?
Or was it a very specific answer?
I feel like it was.
I don't know.
I don't know either. Obviously, Swiffer thinks differently. You'd have a better idea, but he did just blind pick it into Claire. We've seen the Swain just fall all the way through the draft for the first time this series.
However, ladies and gentlemen, we are on to Summoner's Rift for the final time tonight. This series can go no longer, and whilst both teams have put on a great show, it will end here. And you see for the first time, potentially Order has pulled out the Gouda. They've reached into the cellar and they are looking for some cheese because there is a 4-man stack behind it, Anivia in the bottom lane.
Can they get a kill though? Raid playing pretty defensively, just up in the choke. If FBI can force him back, then Order can move up. Because they can move up around the curved wall, which they do. Swift is suddenly in stun range.
They ping it out.
Oh, okay. Barely.
Looks for the stun, does not land.
There was a moment in time where Raid would have to flash. If Swiffer walked up, if he took a little step forward instead of a little step back.
But this
all
is
of a
what
sudden,
good teams do in best of 5s. They remove the variables. They say, if this game goes to 15 minutes even, we will win because we have Scion, Sejuani, 2 hyper-scaling carries. And Order at the moment are thinking, if we can get control over some lanes, if we can push down some turrets, set up a siege with a Caitlyn and an Anivia.
That's the thing.
If we get ahead, do we ever fall behind?
You listen to Legacy comms, they're like, if we get to 15, 20 minutes, then we're fine. Then you flick the switch, you go over to Order, and Swiffer, the captain in the mid lane, is if we get to 15 and 20 minutes, then we'll be fine.
I guarantee that is what both of the teams are saying.
Yes.
Because they would both trust in their team fighting right now.
And that's, for the most part, what this series has come down to. We've seen some hard split push Trundle. We've seen Nas get advantages in the side lane, but it just came down to execution in the team fight.
And that was the big difference to me, is Na is a good split pusher, but it's a good team fighter if you play it well. Mimic played it to a T.
Multiple 4-man wall bangs.
Actually a really nice guy as well, Mimic. It couldn't happen to a nicer bloke that he shows up on the Gauntlet looking to play some seriously good League of Legends, so hats off to him. First split in the OPL would be very intimidating coming over and playing some very nice League of Legends.
But both junglers doing a fairly similar path. Going to end up on the same side of the map for the most part, but Order do have the priority in the top lane. Matched by Claire in mid lane. He's actually gone TP on Azir.
Yep.
You don't see that too often. Wants to match the TP that will come out of Swiffer with the spellbook. Normally see the flash heal, but
I think the reason he wants it in this matchup is he wants to be able to match the tempo. As actually Spooks jumps onto Sybil and chunks him out quite hard. You can see that Nah had already left top lane.
Claire's walking over though. Spooks might just walk into him if he face checks the bush, but no, they both just back away.
And Swiffer's just going to be under his turret for the first 6 levels of the game. That's what you expect out of an Anivia. And the reason I like the Anivia pick, and we talked about this in depth last week, but Anivia as a champion enforces a tempo on the game. And that tempo is slow. Do not do anything until I have my ult. Secure me blue buffs. Step by step, go through checklists, because otherwise we're done.
Here we go.
Actually, that is
he has
going
no
to
cleanse.
be...
He has flash.
Uses it immediately. He had got walled there. Could have potentially been the kill, because he'd already slid away.
Does Swiffer have the wall at level 3?
I mean, you would have to think if they're going for a gank, he would have taken it.
Potentially if it was prepared, but we do see Inivi's one of those weird champions where...
Don't take wall till 8
you
sometimes.
don't take wall sometimes. Things maybe like Jace top where they wouldn't put points in their ulti, things like that. But of course, do burn the flash, and Claire will pay the price of not having that combat summoner. All of a sudden, just has nothing but a TP to his name. And in a matchup that he should be continually shoving in, losing that flash early means Swiffer now has priority.
Probably not going to die, but it means that he's going to have to play on the back foot whilst there's vision on the bottom side of the map, and it's going to be an infernal drain.
Yeah, game number 5.
Would you have it any other way, Bryce?
The Riot RNG gods have
blessed us.
Have really blessed us. They have. We've only had one air Drake for the first point. That was last game. That was the only one. The rest of them, we've had an Ocean. I think we've had double fire as well. We've had some spicy dragons for the most part.
And Spook stayed on the map a very long time. He took both of the Rift Scuttlers, and he's done a full clear to the point that his top camps are coming back available before he's even gone for a shop. Potentially this clear has been too long, because you can see now the Sejuani picking up the red smite is starting to fly through the jungle camp.
Q does land. Can they proc this one? Trap goes down, but no. We'll just walk away. Of course, both supports in this game have matched the spellbook, so they will be able to get claims later on. It makes a lot of sense when you're up against the likes of a Jhin, Sejuani. In a case of Rogue, there's a lot of CC to be able to cleanse out of that you need to block. And then Decoy, you have a Nivea, Jax, Nah, things like that. So they don't want to be caught out earlier in these fights. That tends to happen in these late game compositions. Oh, actually, bot lane.
Yeah, Trap going to go down in case Decoy tried to jump onto Rogue. Good use of priority here, actually, by Mimic, as now Sybil is into Spooks' jungle, looking for him. Misplaced that ward, it looked like. However, he's just continually waiting around the wall.
He might actually be using it to spot out Swiffer, because he knows he's there and he's just waiting for him to face check the corner. Sybil eventually does.
Yeah, actually, Spooks gets the smite, however. Sybil did not use it. Spooks will be chased out of his own jungle as Swiffer is very low.
Yeah, no health, no mana.
Has a spell book.
Yeah, will be able to TP back, but Sybil looking to steal away the Grom. Tally has the fast track, of course. Mimic doesn't want to walk through the turret.
Or maybe he does. Mimic is a madman. Spooks just immediately goes onto Sybil. Will be using that Counter-Strike. Gets some good damage out.
No.
Does go over the wall. So Spooks going to secure his jungle camps.
Of course, press the attack versus the aftershock of Sybil. You have to think Jackson, a straight-up 1v1 going to demolish the Sejuani.
And actually, he continues, has red smited out. And this is going to be the fight. However, now Mimic coming in, and Spooks might have to burn the flash. Swiffer is there, level 6.
Oh, deep
Teleport
TP
coming in.
from
And
Claire.
actually, Spooks is walking straight back into it. He needs to get out of here. Walks back into the members, and that is going to be first blood picked up for Legacy.
Stun does not land from Swiffer, so no answer. The Airy actually picks up the kill for Claire. Never in my life have I seen a deep flank TP from the Azir. Wall comes out.
Now you can see Swiffer putting in some
does
big
the
damage.
Stun land?
That is going to be the stun, and this is going to be a return kill.
Oh.
No flash available. Swiffer answers back.
Saves the day for Order right there. Answers back with a 1-for-1 kill. Mimic looking
Yeah, it's actually going to be Tally looking for something here. And actually, you're still going to have the Sejuani top side of the map. So how far can Tally commit?
Is he dead?
Well, apparently enough for a flash. In goes Sybil looking for this. Flash versus flash. And now Tally back into Minina. He's going to look to kite him out. As you mentioned, back to his jungler. However, we'll just take the chunk there. Fleet Footwork heals him back up.
1-for-1 flash trade in the top lane right there. Very close to falling down. And as this series has progressed, we've got some spicier and spicier early games. Rogue.
Actually, Decoy might be in big trouble here. Is that going to be the recall completed? It is. He's just been left to the wolves by Raid, and FBI gets himself a free kill.
Greedy play by Decoy. He desperately wanted to force Rogue away, but FBI comes back in the nick of time. CC does land chain into the trap. As you mentioned, Raid, he has heal, but they didn't want to expend 2 summoners. It would have been heal plus the flash, and then maybe you just get followed up by Order. So they just back away. Decoy goes down. He does have Spellbook, so he can go to TP and get back to the lane if they want immediately to 2v2 now.
And look how healthy that cannon is. So it's going to push in, so he has to TP back. But that means no cleanse or combat summoner is going to be there, and he takes a big chunk.
And not to mention, the wave is pushing in here, and they've also got a 15 CS lead in the hands of FBI. The Caitlyn last game was something like 10-3 when they lost the game. All of a sudden, only 8 minutes in, got himself a bit of a lead already.
Raises a big question. How fed do you have to be to carry a game as Caitlyn nowadays?
Apparently 10 kills is not
Apparently
enough.
the nerfs hit her harder than I expected. However, good bottom lane priority. Now probably going to be mid lane priority secured by the Anivia if they get the blue buff. So Order's bottom side of the map looking a little bit safer.
And this is the pick, the blind pick Anivia. Even in CS.
I can't even look at it.
1-to-1 kills. I don't like his skin though.
Don't you? Why not? He's a machine
Is
bird.
that Hex Tech Anivia?
Yeah.
Yeah, not a fan.
All right. Well, sorry. We'll try and do better next time.
Yeah, do, please. Thank you very
order.
much. Game 5, you got to bring out the big guns, you know?
What is the big gun Anivia?
I'm like racking my brain because I know I don't like that one, but I don't know which one I
top
do
lane.
like.
No flash available from
Tally's
Tally.
mini as well.
He's going to
That's
actually get the hop. However, ulti's still available by Mimic. Can just charge in underneath here if he wants to.
Does he go? Sibyl's
Goes
here,
for it.
Walking
Very
in.
nicely
Slow.
done.
Double
Will be
miss.
able to dodge out, but that is just going to be Tally falling down. The kite is there. Cannot go Mega in time, or can he? No, he cannot.
And in that time, Claire was actually floating up the river, had to dash over the wall away from Spooks and Swiffer, who found him at the dot bush. So, Tally once again.
He's just getting picked on.
He is.
Now, you see, nice damage landed bottom lane, however, returned by FBI. Sustained war is going to be won, however, by the Taric. Very important to mention that.
And this has to be weighing on the mind of Tally. Last game, into the Scion. Mimic putting on a clinic in the top lane. All of a sudden, the tides are turned. Few ganks up there, and he's hasn't picked himself up a kill, but 2 assists for the Scion. Slowly starting to build a bit of a CS lead.
Yeah, absolutely. And I mean, it's just the experience, the gold that he's going to be able to get for that. Also the priority in the lane. You see Spooks had to hold that wave. That means that he's going to fall a little bit behind, although we're doing a good job right now of keeping up in CS. Claire's still getting first access to the wave, which you expect when your jungler isn't on the map for Swiffer.
Makes a lot of sense there. Spooks was actually holding the wave top, trying to take some of that XP and CS that you were talking about that was being denied by Tally. So with Sybil doing golems, Claire gets the priority there.
And if
Spooks
Order
walking
win
out
this
of base.
game, this will be a permanently banned Anivia. If you can play it into, you know,
if you can blind
Azir and you can blind it, I mean, I think that that just becomes a permaban. And potentially, something I want to talk about is the metagame. So Legacy have shown that they're honestly more versatile through the mid lane than we maybe gave them credit for. They've played like Azir, they've played themselves some Ryze as well as some Talia. And they really haven't prioritized Swain in this best of 5, but they've shown they can play it. So they've shown that they're resilient. Order have shown that they're going to fall back onto an Anivia pick, which is a bit cheesy, to be honest. So a lot of information being given away now that this game has gone to a best of 5.
Absolutely. Of course, Swiffer, we were joking, has played 4 games of Swain.
The ultimate on it he does here. They want to do this one very quickly.
There are members down on the bot side for Legacy, but they do have vision as well. Unfortunately, not close enough. Pings are going out. It seems like potentially on a different page here as the wall will come out. Sybil blocked behind.
Actually, they
Spooks
use
going
the
to get
ulti.
tagged by that
Spooks
one.
is going to be tagged. Can they get in front of him or do they just
Dead.
sack? Sack is the call. So Infernal Drake for just 1 kill.
I feel like if you're Spooks right now, you are 0-2 and 0, but you have to call Worth. Talk about the Anivia, the Caitlyn. They do have the scaling there. It is all potentially lining up. And
look at this. Any
I mean,
other pick in the game, Simon, Swiffer is walking back mid lane. Anivia, no boots too.
Not.
You can't walk through the jungle. Even though it's your side of the map, you don't own squat. So he goes back to base and gracefully will look to soar towards the mid lane.
You're a big graceful Anivia fan. You're
think,
all about the wings.
Look at it. It's just... It's
therapeutic. She's got like a heartbeat flap, you know? Like 1, 2, 1, 2. Like it's none of that gliding. Yeah, Flappy Bird. What a game. What an absolute ripper.
I don't know. Looking to clear out mid-wave.
And he removed it off the store. Bad luck, guys. But back to this game. Gold lead, absolutely nowhere to be found. Just 500 between them right now, but Order did secure themselves.
So I'm going to ult back towards top lane, so saves his TP. Very nicely done by Mimic.
Spooks might just be doing another Spooks thing where he's going to solo out a Rift Herald. Tally does have the priority on the top side. Forces Sybil
like
back into the jungle.
On a crab for now. And it's going to be a ward looking to spot it out. Tally going to take a lot of damage here. Has to hop away. Hop gives you attack speed. Lots of people don't know that.
Yeah.
That's why you use it mid-trade more often than not, as opposed for a disengaged
It also
tool.
can pop Hyper as well if you hop on their head. Yep. You go behind them and then they have nowhere to go. Suddenly there's a big gnar between you and your turret.
Oh, Mimic just missed that one. Otherwise, you would have think he would have stepped forward for another trade.
Playing Mimic back
very well
onto the Comet. Haven't seen him take Glacial yet. He cares much more about the priority in the lane.
I mean,
especially against a Gnar.
A jungler coming up and visiting time and time again, I feel like it is a good thing. And you can see right now that Sybil is there one more time. Will now be spotted out. But had Tally already gone forward, will get slowed down. Mimic, no ultimate. Otherwise, you would have thought this was a kill as well. Cancels out on the dash. He can do no wrong.
And they actually pinged up into the lane here. So they spot Sybil in the tri-bush. And now he's actually going to face check a pink ward here. So very nice from Tally trying to keep himself safe. He's seen so much pressure. He's had so much jungle attention this series.
He's going to have to recall. That top lane turret might actually fall down.
Spooks is on the bottom hand side of the map as well. So either they match and they race for the first brick, Well, you have to think this will be going over to Legacy. Claire has priority mid.
Absolutely.
Swiffer has teleport,
Jax, however, and that will rip
backing
through the structure. So that's going to be first brick one by order, but one more time. Legacy willing to split the map in half. And it was enough time. Actually, they teleport back, and that's going to be double TP. Looking to save the structure. This is only for tempo. That turret will fall down, but Swiffer wants the wave to now stack up, be on this side of the wave. And if Tally can actually challenge it, potentially. Oh, actually, that's going to be...
I feel like the timing is way off right now. Spooks has to be the one going mid lane. We talked about blue buff priority with the Anivia. So he TP's top instead of mid. Claire gets a huge chunk.
But what I was saying is now they're going to rotate their bottom lane into top lane. So if Tally can keep this up for just a second,
he has ulti still.
They have tempo advantage. Actually, looking to fling him back. Will be able to get it. Is anyone else collapsing? He has flash still. Uses the ultimate. And now the wave is in a perfect position for Order to be able to shove it into the turret and potentially trade up 2 for nothing.
So they sacrifice a bit of the mid health there. Spook's looking to solo out a Rift Herald as the rest of his team is tracking towards top side. There is Cosmic Radiance. Taric ulti still available. Azir, good under a turret if Legacy do choose to defend this one. But 3 members versus 0 right now in the turret for the next few seconds.
Yeah, absolutely. You can see how much damage it has already taken, down to about a half. Tally now sees the other team, so will have to channel his recall if this gets stopped. Big news for Mimic.
So Spooks does pick up the Rift Herald uncontested.
Actually, they're going to collapse top lane. Ooh, Sybil playing that nicely. This game's intense.
And once again, Raid on the Jhin. There's not a big, beefy front line this time. We have a Jax, you have a pseudo tank in the 9, a Braum, so he's going for the Ghostblade once again. Obviously, 2 different thought processes between him and FBI.
Yep. You feel like it is going to be a full tanks Jax this game. If you got a Gnar going for something like a Frozen Mallet and a Black Cleaver, your Jax probably needs to be a tanky man. I don't think we're going to see Trinity Force.
Gone are the days of Devourer, Triforce, Bork, Jax in the jungle.
Not in my solo queue games, mate. I don't know what you've been playing lately, but long live Devourer, Trinity Force, Bork.
Absolutely not. Hard disagree. But next Dragon will be spawning in about a minute and a half right now. There's absolutely nothing between these two teams 15 minutes in.
Is waiting just out of Fog of War. Has it been spotted out?
Potentially they have an inkling. Pings are going down to the bot side, so Mimic says he has to go back to defend his turret. Tally's had too much time to push this wave in.
The turret's a little bit far.
Oh yeah, it's gone. Yeah. It's not there, non-existent. Kaboom.
Kaboom! Who was that? That was my Tristana.
Oh, okay.
Impression. Not good enough, apparently.
Okay.
Bummer.
You didn't do the, is that a rocket in your pocket? Like, surely that's, the quotable one, you know? Like,
I don't know.
I've never heard her say kaboom. Is that a skin, or?
I don't know.
Oh.
I thought it was just, maybe she doesn't say it, and maybe I'm just wrong.
When does she say it?
Twitter is going nuts. I think it's the ulti.
Okay.
Maybe it's like a specific interaction, like ulti onto satchel charge or something like that. As we see, actually, they're doing a very nice job of keeping this wave off turret here, the Legacy bottom lane, because as soon as that crashes, you feel like the damage will continue. And they just continually floating up that bottom lane pressure that Mimic's able to generate. Now we bring Sybil with him. 3 members going to be able to get into this mid lane. You feel like if they come from 3 different directions, that will be a dead bird.
And that's the thing why this game specifically is so weird. You have an Anivia versus an Azir. Actually, I'm going to hold that thought. Tally might be caught.
Is the ultimate going to come out from Mimic? No, he plays respectfully enough.
Just going to walk away. But you think about mid lane of the current meta, you have Ornn's top side,
now going
Sion.
top lane. This is strange. However, they're going to channel the TP as well, and they will just have to head for the hill. In comes the curtain call, and that's going to be 2 premature flats as well as an ultimate. And meanwhile, they've just got a Sejuani guarding mid lane against Rift Herald.
All of a sudden, potentially, Order might be looking to trade up here. Sybil trying to defend some of the wave, trying to kill that one off. They only have 2 creeps left, but this one will die. Do they commit more? Tally has so much priority in the bot side.
Is there a teleport ward bottom lane? Actually, Decoy flashes in, gets stuns up. Radiance is there. Flash will be used by Claire. And a fantastic commit now in the bottom lane. Means they pick up the kill as well as the turret. But Order are still going mid lane. They want this kill onto Rogue. They will find it with a flash as well as a cleanse. Now 2v2 between a Sion as well as, wow, that is just a strange 2v2.
Comes out.
Gets spooked. Wall is off there, and the stun is also onto Sybil. Is a collapse from the rest of the team. Claire is here. Flash out of Swiffer. He's going to get knocked up. And Tally did not rotate in time. Still looking for it. Does he come back alive? No, he will not. And now Spooks is going to be chased down. Flash out of Sybil means this fight is continuing. He's looking for a hop. Will not find it. That is a 4-for-0 trade.
And Earth Dragon is up as well. They're going to take themselves and another Dragon in this series right now. Legacy winning a fight on 2 fronts. They burnt the TP top from Mimic, and they pull the trigger on the ulti, immediately cancel. But, as you mentioned, double flashes come out of FBI and Rogue. That means when they continue the play, they go forward into the inner turret. Claire can finally get behind the bot lane, swoop up the kills, double turrets going over.
And a 2,000 gold swing off a very ballsy play. That is TPs used from both solo laners into the top lane. And FBI and Rogue, they thought they were outplayed. They thought that they had been able to stun Decoy underneath the turret, but it was not to be. Decoy comes up trumps. And now Legacy really have their first advantage in this game.
And he actually flashed late there, and he gets CC down, and because they don't have flashes, this is what I'm talking about. Claire uses his own, gets into the back, takes down with the 4-shot of FBI. They do get the follow-up kill. He has to burn the flash to pick that one up, and then in the mid lane, we see the TP will come out of Claire eventually. Spooks finds himself underneath the turret, but nice Glacial Prism out of Sybil. Gets Spooks to be too close to him. Claire, of course, on the Azir has a gap closer, gets over the wall that Swiffer plays to try and keep him out. He goes down 2 fronts. Legacy win this fight.
Yeah, absolutely. And you got to say that Tally just farmed the wave. He did not rotate. He made the wrong call, and he was not the one punished for it. He's the only one left alive. But everyone else from Order got collapsed on and got killed.
And that might just be the frustration. In the 1v1, he's had so much attention. Last game, Mimic on the Gnar absolutely popping off. Suddenly in the reverse matchup, he finds himself behind. He's up 12 CS. But down in kills, and Mimic's just been all over the map right now.
However, now potentially no ultis available, no flashes available. They will just be able to slide their way away. You can already see the rotation coming out of the duo lane.
Spook's going to face check this one. We'll find a pink ward, and Sybil will just walk away. But the Anivia all of a sudden in the mid lane, especially with the blue buff, is getting a lot of priority.
They've actually found a fight that they want over the wall. And, ooh, that was a little bit too late from Swiffer. Not willing to push into the Azir. And meanwhile, look at this. Again, Mimic has found himself priority. Going to start up the choo-choo train. Swiffer's going to have to wall him away. However, now it is Spooks caught out again. Curtain Call is channeled. Tally also channeling the teleport. Ray, FBI on the back line will find Claire. And now the Mega Gnar will throw them back into the team. Decoy gets the sunglasses down. But how long does this fight go for? Because this is Anivia's bread and butter. Mimic caught off from the rest of the team. The stun will actually not go towards him. It will go towards Raid to zone them away. And guess what? It's 20 minutes. Order win a team fight and potentially can look at Baron.
All of a sudden, one individual mistake from Claire potentially might cost them the Baron. No, they're just looking for the siege straight up mid lane.
After last game, I wouldn't go anywhere near Baron either.
It was Legacy during the regular split. Suddenly, it's Order that don't want to be piece of the big purple worm. They just want the goal. They take down that inner turret. Tally looking to break top as well.
And I'm telling you, it's not the champion itself. It's the way that you have to play the game with Anivia. You cannot take risks. You have to play back. You cannot march forward. You need them to come into you. And you see right now that this is just how Swiffer is comfortable playing.
And this is what we talked about. Wall onto the Scion, and then the knock-up gets cancelled. So he plays that very well, and there is the risk. Claire goes over the wall, immediately turned on by 4 members of Order. Brawl multi comes out, trapped from FBI, they blow him up. They get into the backline, Tally comes in from behind, swoops multiple members into the wall, and then Anivia's had so much time this fight. The ulti is just ticking, wall after wall. The second one of the fight means they block off the escapes. Suddenly a one-team fight for Order, and what was a very even game is now 3,000 gold in the lead of Order.
But if I've learned anything, these are all one-team fight games.
Yes.
Everything is going to come down to the nail biter. Summoner spells back up and available for Swiffer because he's got himself both the Lucidity boots as well as the
Summoner spellbook.
Yeah, Summoner spellbook.
I feel like the big thing this game, as we progress forward and teams are going to, after Claire makes that mistake, he's not going to be dashing over the wall again on Azir, right? Yep. And I feel like the later this goes, the more important Rogue's cleanse and Decoy's cleanse becomes. Okay. You have the CC from the Anivia, you have the Jhin root on the opposite sides of the coin here. These supports will die instantly if they ever get caught out. There's so many damage threats on either of these teams. The mid lane is just do so much right now.
Finally, it's going to be Tally rotating back towards Order. Wall is there, over the wall goes Claire, but going backwards means that he's now no longer there to defend his team.
Spooks did not have flash, wanted to look for the double counter-strike there onto multiple members of Legacy, but Summoner is down, so he can't find the opportunity. We have to talk about the Dragons. Team fight, Dragon in the favor of Order. They have the Infernal, but Legacy, if they ever find themselves onto a Baron with an Azir and a Mountain, that's just going to absolutely drop.
And they've just got themselves so much non-committal tools. I mean, you got Counter-Strike. You can just sit there, wave that around. You've got yourself an Anivia as well as a Caitlyn, and they've got full access to the Baron.
And normally you look at team fight compositions and you're like, wow, this team excels in a choke. But then you look at this game, one team has a Nivea, Braum, Jax, Nah, things like that. But then the other side, you've got a Zir, Sejuani, Sion.
Yeah.
I don't know who wins a team fight in a choke in a jungle if it comes to that. Like, I actually just have no idea. It's straight up down to, like, execution, who can burst a carry first.
All of Order's wards on the top side of the map. That's going to be a route up by Raid onto Spook. Maybe potentially Dragon going to be up and available. Don't know what it is. No teleport available on Tally right now. Means that first access of the Baron will be attained by Legacy. It's a Mountain Drake, so it's a good Dragon to have. Potentially Tally can look to solo that one out.
And this is 4 members of Order actually contesting the river right now. Tally has no TP and Legacy have 5 members. I feel like Mimic is trying to sit back. He's trying to stay out of vision. Unfortunately for him, he's walked over a few wards, but if Order thought they were in a 4v4 situation, then maybe they step up a little bit. The Sion ulti comes out and they can get themselves a fight. Who's going to get the blue buff?
Nah does best. Actually, they just throw the blue buff at him, and Tally says, thank you very much.
Mimic says, here you go, mate. I got a few ganks. The least I can give you is a blue buff.
Yeah, absolutely. And you see right now that Order are going to go towards the Dragon. No priority being put on it by Legacy at this stage. However, this should give them access one more time towards that Baron buff and trying to sweep away some vision.
So this will just be able to equalize the Baron speed here between these two teams. The important one is, what's the next Drake? Do we get something like an Infernal? Do we get an Air? Do we get an Ocean?
Wouldn't that just make it even spicier,
Yeah,
right?
it would. What is it going to be? Come on. Is it Infernal? It's Ocean. Oh,
who cares?
No. What a disappointment. Come on, game 5 with 25 minutes in. Give us another Infernal.
However, Tally hasn't mounted himself. Not the 100 CS that Mimic had in game number 4.
He's got about a
he's
third
got
of
himself
it.
a 30 CS lead.
It's a respectable lead.
It's okay.
Sitting on 2 items. The big one is once you get that Cleaver and start building the adaptive helm, things like that, he should be able to push Mimic out of lane, which is kind of what you've been seeing for the past 5-10 minutes.
Control
Mimic
ward in the back of the pit from Legacy means that Order really need to clear that one out. Otherwise, they're not going to be able to get anything rolling.
Claire's going to find out that his turret's going to despawn in just a few seconds here, so doesn't really have anything to fall back on in the mid lane, whereas Swiffer does. And you talk about mid matchups, double Control Mage, and probably 2 extremes of the Control Mage spectrum in Azir and a Nivea, both very immobile and rely on having that turret to not get pushed in very heavily.
That is bold by FBI, marching forward onto Claire past 2 Sand Soldiers whilst the rest of the team was not there. Potentially could have been a swoop. No, does not land, but the wall does, and Decoy now takes a lot of damage. Does he have to flash? Yes, he does.
He holds on to the cleanse,
unlike anything. Spook's now potentially caught out as well.
That's a big recall coming out of Legacy. 2 members, Claire and Decoy, they are in a pink. So Order have no idea, but if they just start this one up...
Talk to me about the benefit of backing on a pink. What is that? What do you mean when you say that?
Well, this is normally the benefit, that they don't know you've backed away.
However, teleport now coming in out of Azir, as well as the fact that Sion is already here. Order will back away from the play.
And because Decoy had to burn his flash, he then switches his cleanse to the TP.
Decoy's teleport.
All of a sudden, Rogue has flash cleanse. He can frontline in a team fight. He can catch a CC. He can catch a Sedge ulti for FBI, for Swiffer, and he can get out scot-free. Decoy, especially on the Tarics, much squishier than the Braum, doesn't have the same defensive tools. Goes the tier, is just straight up squishier.
Yeah, Claire's been caught out here. Decoy, no flash, and they're going to look to start up the fight. However, Rogue now taking a lot of damage. Decoy will get the ultimate down. No, just not in time. However, so much damage coming out of Claire. Swiffer is so low, and over the back line comes Mimic. Flies into them. Very nice stun, means that Anivia may just live. However, the rest of Order is destroyed by Legacy.
And Claire is just a one-man army. Sybil in the front line. Mimic flashes over the wall to CC chain them, but Claire does so much damage. Tally TP'd in, but he was mini. They're going to start up the Baron.
Do they go for the steal here? They know it is happening. That's going to be Spooks looking for it potentially. 4,000 health.
Do they hold it?
Spooks is there.
2.3, 1.8, 1.5.
It goes in, and he actually does not get it. 300 health. Throws his hands on his head.
Sybil takes the biggest sigh of relief. Absolutely had a heart attack. Reminiscing yesterday against Only, but this time he secures the Baron for Legacy.
And we're back to even in the game.
Gold-wise, yes. One team has a Baron. Claire just picked himself up a decap, working on his next item, going for the Morellos. And I talked about choke points. That was a big choke point, and Azir was just whacking everyone.
Yeah, it certainly was. Let's take another look at it.
Because this is the pick onto Decoy. No flash, no cleanse. TP back to the fight, so he goes down immediately, but the ulti does land onto Sybil, so he's invulnerable. Order think they can't turn around and actually do any damage because they are just invulnerable, so Claire gets this time to just stand and deliver the damage. TP comes in from Tally on the right-hand side of your screen, now off-screen, but he's Mini, just being chased away by Rady.
And there is so much freestanding gold. Mid lane tier 2 turret falls down. Bottom lane tier 2 turret falls down. That will give Legacy their first gold lead in what feels like a very long time in this game. They're looking to continually push in. Anivia's not there. Kate's not there. There is no setup. I think they have to seed this one as well, Bryce.
They probably will. It's just an inner turret at this stage. Order are streaming down into the bottom lane. Legacy only have 4 members. Sybil hasn't joined the rest of the pack here, but this turret will be conceded. Anivia, Caitlyn. 2 of the carries in their roles that are probably the best at holding inside their base. How long can Order hold on with this Baron? Can Legacy break the base? That is the big test.
Yeah, it certainly is. As you see one more time, Legacy looking to close in.
Trapline.
Trapline is down.
Wall.
They wall them out. However, we've talked about this. Azir's reach is just so big. Can still do damage past that structure. Can slide past if he would like to.
But that's the thing. The traps don't stop Azir, but they do stop the front line, and that's exactly what Azir needs to deal damage. Sybil doesn't want to step up. Mimic doesn't want to step on the trap because they just so much CC to chain. You have Braum, Anivia, Jax, Gnar. If you step on a trap and give them the easy startup point, even if you're Mimic at this stage, level 15, 3,000 health, double tank item, he will drop immediately.
Claire is the teleport user right now, so he is solo split pushing in the bottom lane versus
Split
Tally.
pushes here. That's an interesting one.
I mean, he takes turrets fairly quickly.
He does. He hits him with the W.
And they are going to deny the blue buff from Swiffer. 1,300 damage crit coming out of Raid. Say what you want about the Yomu start. If you get to 3 items, it still does a lot of damage.
It doesn't matter, yeah. 50 seconds on Dragon, but unfortunately for Legacy, it's only an Ocean, so they're actually going to the top side of the map right now.
They're doing the smart thing here, Legacy. They're picking up and they're moving every single time. The trap line is set mid lane. Bottom lane, let's go mid. Now it's set mid, let's go top. And eventually they're looking for just a little hole in the Order lineup's army.
I feel like this is a very ballsy call. Claire has just walked the really long way from bottom to top through all his camps. He wants his next item. He really wants to finish the Morellos.
Yep.
So he backs and does Wolves, he does Wraiths, and Legacy continue the siege 4v5. Now Claire has joined Mimic in the mid lane, so it's a bit more of an even fight, but there was a window of opportunity, obviously not on any vision, so Order couldn't pull the trigger.
Mimic and Order looking to pull the trigger. That is very risky as Mimic was there. Do not step far forward. Claire, however, going to be able to take this turret. Tally cannot stand up to the Azir.
He's just tanking that one. Burns his dash, though. All of a sudden, if any member of Order rotate over, which they're not, so Claire just stands and delivers.
Yep.
Turret will die.
Can put a turret up in response if he would like.
Oh, that's a flash
actually
from Raid. Oh. This is so close. This is a team fight at the drop of the hat. We've seen it 4 games in a row. Legacy have the Baron. They have a 3,000 gold lead, but if there's one pick, if Swiffer lands a wall stun, if somebody tanks a counter-strike, all of a sudden this game could just completely turn. And same for the other side. Claire just does so much damage. Tarek stun, Sejuani ulti. If that lands onto multiple members, Mimic gets into the backline once more.
Void Staff is
close.
picked up for Claire, so it wasn't the Morellos. It's actually the full-blown tank item, so he's going to do even more damage right now. Level 17, he is 50 CS up, so Mimic has been sacrificing experience and farm for his mid laner.
Claire is 2 levels above Swiffer on the Anivia.
Yep.
Has that that rank 3 ultimate, level 17 Swiffer, working on his own. Of course, does have the spellbook, so at this stage in the game, once he does pop level 16, once he does have those items, has the extra safety of the cleanse, has a Braum to stand in front of him, but it's incredibly close. I feel like these Legacy couldn't break the base with a Baron, right? So they have the control of the map right now. They're probably just going to keep pushing in these waves, just clear out the side lanes. They will eventually get the Dragon, but it's not a huge priority.
Order too far forward, they can just pull the trigger on this and
they're
look
just
for the fight. They're looking for it. They get Swiffer. Over the wall goes everyone. He has to burn the flash and the cleanse. So the next time that play is there, Sybil, however, takes a lot of damage in response. And Claire right now is looking for FBI. He nearly got him.
And Tally just hit Mini as well. He's mega ran out. So right now he's exhausted. Order, even if Sybil is incredibly low, they can't really fight. Claire does so much damage to offset Sybil's low health. Do they just continue pushing mid? They don't have a wave. They burnt Scion ulti as well, so they don't really have cooldowns. Baron spawning in a minute and a half.
Banner of Command minion, however.
It's a melee.
It is a melee.
The wall, the root.
Feel like that was a misclick. Feel like you would love that to be on the cannon right next to it.
Absolutely would. Not going to get any damage on the turret. Spooks literally frontlining for Swift.
Oh, actually steps onto a trap and will have to burn the flash there. Decoy is giving me heart attack.
And that's how the last fight started. Decoy burnt the flash mid lane, switched his cleanse to TP, and came back into the fight, immediately got walled by Swiffer. Suddenly, Has to burn the flash again.
Yeah, Sybil caught out here potentially. Will have to
Will
go
get over the
over.
wall.
Does not get stunned. That's going to be the Ocean Drake not contested from order. I think that's a smart move because it's not really all that important at this stage of the game, although will help the siege a little bit.
So, Legacy, they didn't get a
Oh,
turret.
actually, Spooks!
Oh.
Where is he going?
He doesn't have
has
a ward.
to
He has to
burn the
burn
flash.
He does have a ward. His trinket's available. He could have ward jumped over the wall, but his flash is used.
And they can actually pull the trigger right now. They know that Swiffer has no summoner spells available. They know that Sybil's ultimate is about to come back off cooldown. Tally is about to go mini. He's trying to get himself a Rift Scuttler, and he will manage to do so.
So Vision is secured around this Baron for order just for the time being. And Legacy with that play mid, they pulled the trigger. Multiple ultimates. They got Swiffer's flash and his cleanse. Because he has Spellbook, because he has CDR boots, his cleanse is almost off cooldown. Probably likely going to be up for the Baron fight, but
is that going to matter?
A very immobile bird. That's a
they're
weird
backing
thing to
on
say.
a ward in the middle of the lane.
Does he get cancelled? He does.
Both of them got cancelled. They were both doing it. And now Baron is going to be up and available, and they have no shot for it. Tally is not there. He's trying to build his Mega up in the bottom lane. TP out of Azir into the top lane to try and get some priority.
So Mimic can still flank. There is that ward. If they do want to go for that sort of play, but he is already at the fight order. Have noticed that Legacy incredibly split right now. The
However,
bot
they're
lane,
just going to open up
Curtain
one more
call.
time. Curtain Call comes in.
That's the
Teleport
wall.
already channeled out of Tally. So they will just jockey, and Tally's going to be exhausted for the fight one more time. Do Order just go straight up mid, or do they contest?
Yeah, they do have mid priority right now. Claire dashes over the wall. Mimic gets caught by the Winter's
Claire's
Bite.
going
He
to
has
get
to
caught
burn
here.
the ulti.
Ooh.
Wall. No, does not come out of Swiffer. So big cooldown burn. Mimic does not have the unstoppable onslaught. He cannot get into the backline of Order right
However,
now. Banner
right now,
is used.
Sybil is looking for the carries and will be able to find one. No, will not. Does not pull the trigger. Over the wall goes Claire one more time, and Swiffer looking for his blue buff.
Yeah, Swiffer taking blue. Tally now is not exhausted, so the debuff not applied. He can build up his Mega right now. They need to play around that cooldown if the team fight is to work.
Sybil potentially caught out
no
here,
flash.
has a dash available. Will actually use it, uses his ultimate at the same time. No Sion ultimate, no Sybil ultimate. Is this the cue to start up Baron?
And that is the cost of Spooks burning his flash before. If he has flash, suddenly Sybil flashes, he dies. They get to pick onto the jungler or to start up Baron, but not the case, so everything even across the board. Mimic does have TP pushing up bot. Swiffer matching on the top side of the map.
Yeah, and now Sybil goes
going
in, actually going to get stunned up. In
Big
goes
stun.
the ultimate. However, trying to disengage is Order. That is the Taric ultimate burnt. Now Swiffer cheats, goes through the jungle.
Mimic does have his ulti available. He's not on vision right now, so Order don't know if he's sticking in the bush. They don't want to face check that one. We'll give Legacy some time to actually start up the Baron. They have the Earth. They have an Azir.
Yeah, this one's
Blue
going to be
trinket.
very quick. Do Order actually going to face check
That's dead.
That is dead, as you mentioned, and now they can turn around and look for the fight.
Swiffer's half
Swiffer is
HP.
half HP, and they just have to disengage.
And that's Mimic's pressure right there. The bush in the middle of your screen right now. They had no vision. They didn't want to face check. They have no one. Rogue, no cleanse. Swiffer's not going to face check. He has his available, but they can't get access to the Baron right now. Legacy once again pushing up the top side of the map.
So Order is going to be well and truly confined to their base. Legacy right now will be able to break in, and they're going to have about a 6,000 gold lead. And right now on Claire and Raid, that is a massive deal. No Void Staff picked up for Swiffer, only just level 16. Claire's level 18, and it's just huge.
He's been 2 levels above for about 10 minutes now. Just does absurd amounts of damage on the Azir. Of course, thinking back to draft phase, this was a blind pick Anivius. Swiffer, confident.
Tally's gone Hurricane.
Oh! That's the Meganar build. It's ironic
Yeah.
because Meganar isn't able to use the Runans, but it means you get there incredibly quickly.
Yeah, absolutely. And he knows that he needs attack speed on an item. And you would normally go Phantom Dancer, but he feels like he wins the split push anyway if
against
the
the
game
Scion.
gets there.
Who cares? Swiffer is desperately trying to farm
He needs Void Staff.
his Void Staff. FBI does the big wolf, and you can tell Swiffer's like, hey man, I need some gold, so he gets 2 little wolves for his trouble. We mentioned it before, I'll mention it again. Anivia and Caitlyn, so effective at keeping Legacy out of the base, but
And now
if
they've
they
got
just want to hard
Runans,
commit, they have a Scion.
They shove side lanes very quickly. So as they group, there is less of a window for Legacy to be able to punish. However, Tally doesn't have teleport still. So the window is still there for them to just rush down mid, which is why Tally has recalled and rejoined with his team.
But now they have Banner and they have the Baron buff. Obviously, it does less damage overall, but the range is still there. That's an
throw
ulti.
the ult at Tally, and FBI is getting chunked down on the side. Curtain Call is there. The first one misses, however, they're into the
Swiffer.
base. Decoy gets the stun, and Swiffer is in trouble. They overcommit, however. You can see Mimic is on him, and Decoy will fall down before the ultimate goes.
Claire?
Now it's Claire in the back line, looking for this Raid flashing forward. That will be Braum falling down, but members of Order are still alive. Now with the Banner of Command trying to corral them away from those turrets, Claire might have just won his team the game with that chip damage.
Can they stop the recalls? Their Swiffer does get hit, so he's now full HP. FBI, 75% on the other side of the map, and Legacy were pushing Order out of their own base right now.
Yeah, they certainly
have to commit to the banner minion.
They have to commit to the fight right now. You see that Claire takes down the turret. He is just so fed. No Q out of Swiffer, and all of a sudden FBI might actually be dead. In goes Sybil. He's at overcommit. He will fall too.
Mimic.
That is the ultimate out of Mimic. Tally nearly gets one hit, and there is only one Nexus turret alive, and they are right now wailing on it. Flash forward for Spooks. It is do or die time for Order, and they actually might have done it. Legacy, one more shot from Raid, picks up the game, and Legacy will meet Chiefs tomorrow. They win Game 5.
From 0-2 down in the series, Order have a huge advantage in the matchup. They pick the red side. Eventually, Legacy, they break the curse. 4 blue side wins. They turn it around and they finally get the Game 5 victory.
Absolutely, and they do it in style. They go back to comfort picks. Mimic plays the reverse matchup versus Tally. Raids on the ground, back-to-back best of 5s. Talk about a Cinderella story.
Yeah.
I mean, you have to talk about now Legacy's dream run, and Order are gutted. No Rift rivals for this lineup.
Yeah. That's the big thing we've talked about time and time again. Order not planning on the split one, but I feel like you could tell on their faces they bought into the hype. They were 2-0 up in the series. They were poised to take almost a 3-game series, but Legacy, forever the underdog, turn it around, reverse sweep.
The reverse sweep, and there's something about Spooks and Swiffer being reverse swept by Legacy, which is just not fun to talk about. However, you do have to acknowledge that this Legacy lineup, 4 new members, Claire the only remaining, Decoy given a shot, Raid, never a big name as an AD carry, now stepping up, now throwing the Gauntlet, and they are one best of 5 away from a grand final
And
berth.
they're stepping up at the important time of the year, right? Mimic came into the 2018 season, and Legacy players, Carbon was on the desk saying, man, this guy is literally the best top laner in the league, but didn't show it for weeks on end. His first berth into the OPL, Parbu had the better of him, but now into the Gauntlet, absolutely popping off against Tally, a mainstay in the top lane. You mentioned Raid, probably had the games of his life in this Gauntlet. So happy that he's rolling around on the floor. Has to feel good.
Yeah, absolutely it has to feel good. And, you know, time and time again, Order through the Gauntlet, like the Swain pick. And Claire, I have an answer for it. I'm going to play Cassiopeia. I'm going to play Talia. I'll always have priority. Jungle picks were thrown out there. Sybil able to rise to the occasion after a poor game 1 and 2. Much better performances in the 3 victories. And then, you know, going up against FBI and Rogue is no easy task, but Raid and Decoy rising to the occasion. An overall very good performance out of everyone on Legacy.
And that's the big thing, right? Every single person on Legacy, throughout the regular season, you can always point, this person isn't playing very well. They're not up to scratch. Claire is dragging this team over the line. But when you get to Gauntlet, when these games really matter, every single person on this lineup stepped up today.
Yeah, absolutely. So to check in with one of the victorious Legacy members, let's throw it over to Laura, Juves, as well as Sybil.
Thank you very much, guys. Yes, Juves and I are joined by Sybil. First of all, congratulations on that win and being able to take down Order. We saw a much different series today than what we saw yesterday. How's the team feeling, and were you expecting to come out with a 3-2 win again?
I'm quite speechless right now. I'm shaking a bit. We didn't expect that. I don't know. I didn't expect anything. We just came into today, like, wanted to give it like what we had, see if that worked, and it did apparently. So
you guys dropped game 1 and 2, but then what happened between game 2 and 3 for you guys to switch on and be able to flip the series around?
I can't even remember right now. I don't know what happened. I don't know what was game 3. Someone remind me. I'm
gonna be honest. I can't remember after a series like that.
I'm just blanking right now.
Just blanking right now.
Yeah. But we just kept like relaxed, I guess. We weren't at any point like stressing, because I think we were the underdogs for this series, and I think so far this entire split, when we've been the dark horse or the underdogs, like we seem to just play way better. And I think that, you know, I don't want to be a team that can only win when you're supposed to lose. It's not good, but like I'll take it.
You know how that feels, Jules.
I'll take it.
Actually,
you would.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
did.
in Gauntlet last year.
I want to say, when you're on the analyst couch and when you're on the couch, you can be it's easy to be hypercritical of your own role. because that's your role and it's easy to watch and be critical.
Yeah.
So I was very critical of you in the Advanced series
Oh yeah.
in
That's fair.
certain games
Yeah.
and even today.
Yeah.
But I want to congratulate you and say that for you to turn that around and have the performances that you had was amazing. And like,
Thank you.
I would say congratulations for going to Rift Rivals.
Yeah.
But just say that it's not over.
Yeah,
like,
it's not.
You can be hyped up and shaky like you are now.
Yeah.
But you got to remember, you got to play tomorrow.
That's correct.
Like, that match is over. That series is done and dusted. But I just want to say, like, I really want to congratulate you on that because, like, to come back from, like, that series and, like, to turn around, like, you complete 360 the way that you were playing, I think you deserve, like, all the praise for that.
Thanks, dude.
But I guess I should ask a question now because that's why we did get you on here.
Okay. Thank you.
My question to you is, what do you think about tomorrow?
I hadn't thought about it.
Yeah,
Not
fair
even
enough.
slightly.
Yeah,
Not
fair
even
enough.
close. Like, I was just like, all right, we'll go AV. And now, like, shit today. Okay. And now
That's
tomorrow.
a phone, by
like,
the way, in Twitch chat saying it.
well,
You're getting fined.
that's
Yeah.
it's not up for me
Get
to
Nigel
decide.
on the
is it?
phone and pay that one.
I'll cop it.
Yep.
Well, kind of going off what Juves was saying before, you tweeted yesterday saying that you've been trying to keep like a really good mentality and that these games are important for you. Can you talk to us about why these games are so important for you?
Because I've lost like 3 like semis in a row. Actually, or maybe it's even 4. I don't know. Like, I've just lost a lot of gauntlet runs.
You've
and
lost.
semis.
Just put it that way. You've lost a lot.
Yeah,
Is that what you're trying to say?
I've lost a lot of gauntlets and semis, and it just sucked. Like, it just sucks a lot. So I just have been trying to, turn that around. And so I didn't want to, like, give in at any point. Like, I just want to get that, like, just turn it around. Yeah.
You don't need it, but if it makes you feel a little bit better,
Yeah.
I finished 6th place.
I'm aware.
Have you ever finished 6th?
Not
very good.
No, I haven't.
Don't even go there. Don't even, like, if you consider it, don't consider it.
All right. Yeah. I won't.
Do it. That's good.
Sybil didn't.
Thanks for the, like, awareness of that.
That's fine, man. I'm happy to help.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I appreciate it.
Well,
You're very genuine.
I had to give another
generous
team
today.
a chance to run Gauntlet, and I'm
Yeah.
glad I gave it to you.
Thank you. It means a lot.
Hey,
I
from one
appreciate
Gauntlet king to another now.
Yeah. No, the way you did it, that was respect, man. I was watching that.
I
That was
respect
crazy.
to you too. That was a good one as well.
Awesome.
What a wholesome
That's a wholesome
conversation
conversation.
Yeah.
happening
Just
right
awesome.
here. Sybil, is there any words you'd like to say to any of the fans or legacy supporters watching you from home?
Cameras somewhere.
Yeah, just that
Thank
one.
you. Yeah, just thanks. That was exciting. I don't know what reactions they caught today of mine, but that was hype. Thank you for watching. And we're gonna do it again tomorrow.
We saw the Baron. We saw,
Well, we're gonna do a similar thing tomorrow.
we saw the Baron one where you looked up to the. I don't know if you believe in God,
Oh.
whatever you believe in. If it's aliens or God or
Yeah,
whatever,
yeah.
you were just looking up and you're like, my D key was pressed harder than Spooks'. Thank you very much. We saw that one. Don't worry about that.
Yeah.
Well, before you do
crazy.
go, Sybil, we've been asking people to send in their fantasy drafts for a team they would like to make up themselves and see. And we have one final one that's come in, Jubes. You're going to love it. It comes from Sonaki, who says, top lane, not Juves. Jungle, not Juves. Mid, not Juves. ADC, not Juves. And support, not Juves.
You know what? But now I'm offended because he doesn't want me. So now you've offended me on the last broadcast. Good one. I'm never coming
So
back.
many people that want you.
Always to end the broadcast. It's just that little like you know when you're cooking and you're like cooking and it's like get that nice little crisp. I just get the nice roast. I just get burnt. Like I'm charcoal when I leave here. Like he's won, he's happy. I'm not in the gauntlet, so I'm already upset. And now just to top it off, the icing on the cake. When you're not in our dream team, you're not on our dream team, Jews. See you later.
Well, congratulations, Sybil, on your win once again. Looking forward to seeing you back here tomorrow against the Chiefs. And Jubes, thank you so much for coming on. I'm sorry that you got roasted in the last
I'll
segment,
see you
but
next time.
You want the golden brown.
Yeah, like the one where it's just a bit. I'm getting a bit hungry. Let's not talk about food.
Yeah, let's stop.
On that note, we're going to head it back over to Jake and Bryce to close out the day.
Thanks so much, Laura. And always good to hear from Sybil. Lockie is one of the best personalities within League of Legends, and lots of people are his fans, and he certainly rose to the occasion today.
Yeah, probably one of the strongest mentalities out there. They talked about it time and time again. But the ability to bounce back and the ability to just have the most wholesome interview I've ever witnessed in my life, live, Live on broadcast.
And to get wholesomeness out of Jubes is a talent in itself. So let's bring up the Gauntlet graphic and look at what Sybil has been able to do. 3-2 versus Avant Gaming. Not even close. 3-2 versus Order. Not even close, he says. Bring on the Chiefs tomorrow.
Yeah.
They are looking to run the whole Gauntlet.
Before he backtracked, he was like, we're going to do the same thing tomorrow. The confidence, it's in the back of his mind. He's like, oh, maybe someone's going to roast me from this, the old little backtrack. But, yeah, got to be a hype game going up. Legacy Chiefs, this is a rivalry coming into 2018. People think might be dead. Roster's completely changed all of a sudden. They're back at it in what would be like the third place finisher.
Yeah, it certainly is. OPL Classico for our Gauntlet run to decide who goes to Direwolves. But first off, congratulations to all three organizations of Direwolves Legacy as well as the Chiefs Esports Club. They will be the teams representing our league at Rift Rivals. And, even as a general manager of Order, you have to say right now the three strongest teams are going because they just proved that they can beat us in a best of 5. And quickly, that's where I want to change my attention to. You have to have a look at Order now, and I'll give you first crack at it, as I'm about to cry. I'll give you first crack at it. This is a team that was put together of top 3 teams, arguably, within the OPL, didn't touch the Direwolves, and now have finished 4th. A situation you are familiar with, Bryce Agent Paul, split number 1.
Yeah, well, so are Spooks and Swiffer now. That's going to be their second time finishing 4th.
What are your thoughts on this?
I think they've performed admirably this split. A lot of people were calling them a super team, and I feel like Juve said just moments ago that maybe like super team syndrome got the best of them in the end, but this is a team that have not played together for very long. They didn't go to a Korean boot camp at the start of the split like the other top 3 teams, things like that. And this is their first best of 5 together. They've been practicing it behind the scenes, but on stage is what matters, and I feel like they performed very well today and then had some rough games. The first 2 games, they were 2-0 up in the series. You talk about a reverse sweep and you get to game 5, you're like, Legacy, the hype. They won, they deserved the victory today, but I feel like you can't discredit Order as well.
Yeah, certainly agree. I think that this is a team that we've seen the highs and they seem to be very high, but we've also seen the lows and they seem to be low. And all I can say is to all the fans out there, we'll go away, we'll try and get better, we will try and become more consistent. And hopefully that will be enough for split number 2. But we've got to cast our eyes forward for tomorrow's game. Want to get your quick thoughts and previews. Claire going up against Ryoma. Raiden Decoy taking on like the best defensive bottom lane in the league, going up against one of the most aggressive. Break this game down for me.
Because it's so weird, because it's exactly what I would expect versus Order and Legacy. It's what we saw today. I feel like Order are like the proactive, the strong team, and then Chiefs is exactly that, but in the different roles. They're bot lane, Raze, and Destiny. So much Xayah Rakan. We saw it completely, well, not deprioritized, but just banned away. We haven't seen it at all today. Xayah was banned literally every single game, and Raiden Decoy especially, you highlight them. They've been players that have been having a rough early start to the split, but in the Gauntlet have been stepping up massively, and against Chiefs, a team that relies so heavily on Destiny to engage. Swiper in the top lane, Mimic's been popping off, things like that. They rely on this bottom lane duo. Raid and Decoy stepping up, like, it has to bode well for Legacy going into the match.
It certainly does, and all I'm saying is the Rock in the top versus the Korean import. What better storyline could you have? However, guys, that is all the League of Legends action we have for you tonight. We have one more day of Gauntlet. That's going to be tomorrow at 5 p.m. Same time, same place. Tune in. But on behalf of myself, Bryce, Juves, Laura, Sybil, and our entire production crew, and of course, Hungry Jacks, thank you so much for watching. We'll catch you tomorrow for some more OPL action. Thumbs up. Radiance is there. Flash will be used by Claire. And a fantastic commit now in the bottom lane. Means they pick up the kill as well as the turret. But Order are still going mid lane. They want this kill on Rogue. They will find it with a flash as well as a cleanse. Still looking for it. Does he come back alive? No, he will not. And now Spooks is going to be chased down. Flash out of Sybil means this fight is continuing. He's looking for a hop. Will not find it. That is a 4-for-0 trade. And they're going to look to start up the fight. However, Rogue now taking a lot of damage. Decoy will get the ultimate down. No, just not in time. However, so much damage coming out of Claire. Swiffer is so low. And over the back line comes Mimic. Flies into them. Very nice stun. Means that Anivia may just live. However, the rest of Order is destroyed. Curtain Call is there. The first one misses, however, they're into the base. Decoy gets the stun, and Swiffer is in trouble. They overcommit, however, you can see Mimic is on him, and Decoy will fall down before the ultimate goes. Now it's Claire in the back line, looking for this Raid flashing forward. That will be Braum falling down. It is do or die time for Order, and they actually might have done it. Legacy, one more shot from Raid, picks up the game, and Legacy will meet Chiefs tomorrow. They win Game 5.